Skies with the overnight low around 54 degrees. This is your weather report from the WSIC Weather Center.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now, because your business matters.
And this is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. You are listening to the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. We are coming to you live from our brand new Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village. Please stop by there, and they can help you with anything that you want. We're going to have a lot of cool, fun stuff to do with cigars in the future. They're a brand new sponsor. We hooked them in. We hooked them in for a year, so whether they like it or not, they stuck with us.
and how many shows are they into that already? They haven't just paid you to stop?
That's right. They're going to have to pay us to stop. But if you're thinking about smoking cigars, or you got a cigar smoker in the family, please go buy Burner Cigars. They are just an awesome group of people that really know their stuff. We're going to have Josh on the show soon. We're also going to start doing some promotional stuff as well, thanking them for being a part of this. You know, when I started this years ago, I hijacked my show sponsor, which was Black Powder Coffee, because I came up with the ingenious thing to say, if it's Friday morning, I'm sipping on a cup of Black Powder Coffee because it's delicious. Well, you know, I did that for about 8 years. The problem is they made me move my show to 4 to 5. I can't say I'm sipping on a cup of coffee.
Yeah, you're at the age where you should not be drinking coffee this late in the day.
That's right. But what I will be doing Monday afternoon is burning a tasty one. I can assure you that's happening. And so that's why we got a new sponsor for the show. And we thank Josh and all the people at Burner Cigars. It's just a great place to go and relax. And also it's a great place to buy some gifts. And we'll be talking about that during the year. So we want to thank everybody. So to get back on track, you are listening to the #1 talk radio business show in all of North Carolina. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do at News Talk WSIC. This is 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now. If you are questioning, if you don't believe this is the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina, I'm going to prove it to you. We've been doing this live for over 10 years strong. We have well over 850 small business owners and community leaders that we have interviewed. We have well over 522 videos on my sexy, brand new YouTube channel. And we also are live on the book, live on the tubes. And for those of you that don't know Joe Talk, the book is Facebook and the tubes is
YouTube.
YouTube. That's right.
Where your shorts are.
That's right.
If you're looking for Joe's shorts,
If you're looking for my shorts,
you'll find them on YouTube.
somehow they got them on the tubes. Go to the book, and we'll be more than happy to chit-chat with you, answer any questions you might have, or any of that sort of stuff. So that's why we know to be the #1 live talk business show in all of North Carolina. So you are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. Now, anybody that's been listening to the show over the years knows that I have to have a co-host, and this month, for the entire month, is my buddy, whether he will admit it or not, James Sanders. He is the founder of Charlotte's most reliable IT services, Shared Resources. James, my friend, thank you so much for being here, buddy. I appreciate it.
I am grateful, very grateful for the opportunity to be here.
So remind those who do not know, and don't go so fast like you did last week.
I know.
What
say.
What is Shared Resources all about?
Yes, Shared Resources
Now, you ain't got to go that
is
slow.
for small
Okay.
businesses
There-
that should
now
not.
we're in the right direction.
Yes,
Okay.
should not have an internal IT person, but instead should use a fractional IT person, a fractional chief information officer, And that's what we serve as. We proactively identify opportunities for improvement and avoid downtime.
Got it.
Yes.
And what does your buyer profile look like for you? What's a good client look like for you?
My favorite client is someone who'll listen.
Oh, that's bad. Small business and listen, those two things kind of don't go together.
That's because the owners think they know what they're doing.
That's right. We all think we know what we're doing.
Yeah. But the smaller the company, I like it better personally. But from a profitability perspective, we do best between 10 and 100 employees, workstations, that type stuff.
Right.
Yes.
So you've been doing this a long time.
This is
you old.
This is our 23rd year. I started in the back of a Chevy Astro van. I would on Sunday mornings, I would look for sales in the big department stores, go scoop up parts, and throughout the week try to find homes for those parts that made sense. And then slowly, then I rented a closet, and then I rented a bigger closet,
right.
And then I got an office, and then I got.
And when you say closet, it was a closet in the town hall. It literally was.
Yes, it
was. You opened the door, and it was just big enough for your desk and a chair.
That's correct. Yeah. And I had to share it with the servers, so it was always hot. It was always loud, but.
Well, that's you, hot and loud.
That's.
You got along good with them.
But so that was. Now we're 23 years, and I, over the past 4 years, have made these wonderful shifts in how we do business that just make us so much more effective and automated, so much more than we have in the past. I feel like I'm peaking again. I felt like I was peaking about 13 years ago. I really thought I was like on top of my game. Man, I was wrong. I was wrong. Profitability does not mean that you're peaking.
Right.
Peaking is, do I have the right answers, and am I taking care of my customers as best I possibly can? Today is Monday. Typically, small businesses come into work and they have a handful of problems with IT because something happened over the weekend.
Right.
Today, we probably only gained didn't gain, but we only received about 4 or 5 new tickets across 650 endpoints.
That means you're doing something right.
We are doing something right. We're doing a whole lot proactive so that reactively they don't have to call and ask for help.
And James, as a small business person, we are learning how to automate, use that automation to benefit us in a way. So more and more, IT is becoming an important factor for what we do. So when something breaks down, it's not I'll get to it when I can kind of thing. It's like I need it done as soon as possible.
That's correct. I think technology evolution overall, the little weird stuff like how do I get on the internet and that kind of noise is going away. And now it's a matter of, hey, I'm trying to pull these reports of statistical data to help me make a decision about marketing. And that is that's the challenge now. The questions I got today were not easy stuff. It was very detailed, quality questions.
So when we come back from the break, you're going to educate us on something, because you cannot be a co-host on this show unless you educate us and bring something from the Google. In your case, you become the Google. Am I right about that?
I write the Google. That's
right. But before you do that, I got a question for you.
Yes.
This is important. Why doesn't the glue stick to the inside of the bottle? Do you have an answer for that? When we come back, you're going to help me solve that problem. Okay. How does the glue not stick to the inside of the bottle? I'd like to know that. Why you give me that look? You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Monday afternoon, say it, James. Say it.
Business matters.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Local Biz Now.
Wow, that was like
Joe
we knew what we were doing.
We'll return after this short
Is he
break
still
on
here?
the new
Because it's
105.9
3 weeks in a row now.
100.7 WSIC.
Here's your WSIC
He was turning his head
community
away from
calendar.
it. You're looking for a
Stuart
connection?
Owen Dance, the resident dance company of Asheville's Wortham Center for the Performing Arts, is performing at Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius
So it
this
is
Saturday.
better for
Want to
me.
learn more about Stuart Owen Dance before the
Yeah.
event? Listen
So
and
for
watch
me,
Justin Dion,
it might be
Executive
why
Director of Kane
okay,
Center
gotcha.
for the Arts, during his show,
'Cause I
Know the Scene,
doing
on
this,
Tuesday
which is the
or
problem.
on demand anytime. Just visit WSICnews.com and click on radio
look
shows
down
to
here.
find Know the Scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuart Owen Dance this Saturday, canearts.org. That's CAIN
jokes.
arts.org. The sesquicentennial celebration for the town of Huntersville is here this Saturday from 2 until 8 p.m. at Huntersville
I'm gonna add that to the
Athletic Hall.
thing.
Working
Come
in there, but
celebrate
I got
Huntersville's
questions about dumpsters that are
150th birthday.
kinda funny, like,
Saturday,
do you have
September
fire safety
23rd.
training
For more info,
in your
visit
industry?
Fire safety.
huntersville.org.
Yes, because we hear so much about these dumpster fires.
The All-American
all
Dog
of
Show
20
is back in Cornelius.
2021 with
Sunday,
dumpster fire,
October
right?
1st, 2
I
until
don't-
5 p.m.
I've never heard of a dumpster
Your furry
fire.
friends
You've
are
never heard of a
also
dumpster
welcome
fire?
to
No.
attend.
And
You
why would
can
I
even
care
enter
about it?
them
The darn
into the
thing is
contest.
steel. It's just not.
Be
we'll just
sure
let
to
it
come
burn
by
for a
the
little bit.
WSIC tent at the
You know what they
All-American
call a
Dog Show
dumpster that's broken?
happening at Robbins Park
trash
in
can.
Cornelius. Sunday, October 1st. For
Reid,
more
have you heard all
info,
these?
visit
Have you heard every dumpster
cornelius.org.
joke ever made? Okay,
Have an event
All right,
you'd like to
but
tell
that's here
people
for your
about?
industry.
Yard
Yeah.
sales,
Yeah, but do you
estate
get fire
sales,
safety
everything
training?
in between.
'Cause stuff's gonna
Visit
catch on fire sometime.
WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The way, yeah, okay.
The
'Cause
Renaissance
you know people are
Festival
tossing
is
stuff in
back.
there. It should
Saturdays
not
and
be next to
Sundays,
you.
September 30th through November 19th. A non-stop
All of the
outdoor
ingredients
family
for
adventure.
chemical
Huzzah. Tickets
fire
available online
get powdered
only
in.
at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
So I think what I'm going to
Your
do is
weather
I'm going
update
to I'm
from the
going
WSIC Weather
to do a
Center.
joke like that.
It's a
If it-
beautiful Monday out there. Hopefully everybody had a wonderful
like that.
weekend. As you head through
Wasn't
your
like
Monday, though, sunny skies and a
You a
high
joke
temperature
man?
this
Are you?
afternoon,
Are you really?
getting to 79 degrees.
You know what?
Through the
I've been
evening
bringing
and into
milk,
the overnight hours, we're
Reese's
looking at
cups,
mostly clear
cake,
skies with the
ice
overnight
cream
low
sandwiches,
around
and that
54
joke
degrees.
is the first thing that made him laugh.
From the WSIC
He's like,
Weather Center.
I take it back. I
weather
like
ahead of
jokes.
us. You don't want to be outside doing yard work.
I'm gonna have to
no,
tell that
you want to
150
be doing
people I
fun
told
stuff,
otherwise.
like playing with your dog, hiking, or whatever else. Let Josie's Lawn
here we
Care
go.
handle the yard work for you.
I
Josie's
wouldn't like
Lawn
that
Care
joke.
does mowing, trimming, excavation, tree removal, and more. Plus, he takes care of the cleanup. Call Eddie Josie today at 704-902-4707. That's 704-902-4707 for Josie's Lawn Care.
Might as well get them all cut.
Now
while you're there.
more Local Biz Now
You know?
with Joe Vagnone on
Get
the
all
new
done. Get all done at
1059 100.7 WSIC.
Yeah. WSIC, Local Biz Now, where your business matters. You're listening to 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone. And if it's Monday afternoon, your business matters. And we are talking to a superior, spectacular young man, James Sanders.
I don't have the answer about the glue. Now you've got me really worried. I'm going to lose
I
sleep over
asked
this.
you a question before we went to the break.
Yes.
Why does the glue not get stuck in the bottle?
I don't have an answer, and I don't
Okay.
have my cell phone, so I'm
Okay,
stupid.
so-
I can't even Google it.
So, just so you know, as we move forward with your new Google information that you're going to describe to us, and
Yes.
you're such a big head that you bring your own Google information,
Yes.
just remember you could not answer my question. Why does the glue not stick to the inside of the bottle?
Next week, I will have a
Okay.
15-minute discussion about why the glue...
Next week, I'm going to ask you another joke because
Oh, no.
Wilton liked that joke. You understand? Made him smile. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what did you bring us, my friend?
Well, today I'd like to talk to you about the most disruptive technology in small businesses in the Villes.
Okay.
So this is for us. And I'll go pretty quickly.
Those of you that don't know what the Villes is, that is from Statesville to Huntersville and all the towns in between. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Which is our market.
That's correct.
This radio show's market.
That's correct.
That's correct. Speaking of market, first thing, the rise of e-commerce. Now,
Okay.
You know, none of these are exciting or sexy,
Right.
but it's a reality. It's disruptive.
right.
If you have a small business and you're not doing e-commerce and your competitor is doing e-commerce, they'll probably do better than you.
You hit the nail on the head. It is so funny that you bring that up because Julia and I are right in the middle of working with a new client, getting ready to bring them on board, and that is the number one top selling business and franchise in the country right now is e-commerce stores.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
so
good.
you hit the nail on the
tomorrow,
head.
Yeah, tomorrow, Instacart IPO.
Yeah.
So if you want to gamble a bunch of money, that's the place to do it tomorrow. I don't know what time.
Well, you stick to what you know, the IT. Don't go to the market, okay?
Oh, all right.
Next.
Number 2, mobile payments. Everybody's carrying around a way to get paid in their pocket now, right? On their phones, scanning this, that, and other thing. And we see that when we're out in events. But the reality is that people showing up and doing work on your gutters or pressure washing or whatever, they're going to take your payment right away also. And that gets rid of all that wondering if you're going to get paid or not. You're right there. You're getting your payment. That's a competitive advantage.
Okay.
Third one.
And I want small business people to hear, stop trying to charge the extra $3 or 3 cents. I'm telling you, just increase your price by 2-3% and be done with it.
I agree.
It is offensive.
It is.
People see it as misery and they think differently of you. I'm telling you, it's a cost of doing business and it makes the client's life so much better. And so you really need to be a part of this. Get to the future. Don't be the convenience store guy that said if you buy under $2, I'm gonna charge you.
That's right.
You hate that guy. Don't be that guy.
I agree 100%.
Okay.
There's a medium-sized business out in Concord that called me and said, "Hey, what's our credit card processing fee when we pay our invoice with you?"
Yeah.
I was like, no, there's not one of those. I just assumed I didn't know I could. You know. But I still wouldn't do it. That's just going to offend people.
I'm just telling you, I don't like it. I don't think it's a good thing for small business people to do it. Customers and clients do not like it at all.
Today and right now is not the time and the place. But have you gone on a rant about tips yet?
No, I have
on this
not.
show? Oh, good. Well, I look forward. I hope I catch that one.
Okay.
All right. Next one is social media.
Okay.
And so my sweet fiance, she keeps giving me guidance on social media because we don't use it that much.
Right.
But she uses the world out of it. And so, I'm lacking that competitive advantage. I can see other IT providers, smaller than me, putting stuff out on LinkedIn and Facebook and that type stuff. And I should probably get in that. Because they have that advantage over me, even though they're smaller than me.
Well, and it gives a small business person like me a chance to see if somebody knows something that might encourage me to pick up the phone and ask them another question. But I'll tell you from a small business side, James, it's something that's really happened. I get frustrated when small business people think that social media is all they need. And they don't do the websites. Mm-hmm. They think the Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, they have a Gmail address.
Is enough. Yeah.
Right. They have a Gmail address and a Facebook page.
That is not good business. And don't think the customers know it. They know exactly what you're doing, and they're not comfortable with it, and they will measure you accordingly.
I agree. It does not. It does not present a professional appearance when you don't have the full package.
That's correct.
That's right. Data analytics. So I was talking about this earlier about a client today that called and was asked couldn't get some data out of their QuickBooks that they wanted. There is an incredible amount of decision-making ability in your finances, in your line of business application, in your CRM. It's all sitting in there just waiting to be mined. And so great companies mine the data that they have to make better informed decisions, to know what to focus on.
And, it's interesting that you say that because so many small business people are trying to move in this direction, right, and don't quite understand it. And if they had an in-house IT person helping them, that we're talking about, this fractional person, you could help give them advice on that, because I'm the guy that tries to teach them there's benchmarks, there's KPI, key performance indicators that every industry needs, right? You can hand those to them on a dashboard. Walk in on Monday, it'll be sitting on their computer, so they're going to know exactly what they did last week, and so they're going to know what choices and decisions to make on an operational side. It's a big deal because most of small business people only look at those numbers in a monthly basis, and by then it's old information. And you cannot alter operations in an effective way doing that.
And this is not 2000 anymore. This is not a matter of having to export and import and run this and run that and run everything. Probably the tools are in place, just waiting for you to figure them out. What percentage of clients that you work with know their numbers well enough before you get a hold of them? Would you say below 70?
Less than 20 to 25% of
There
my
you go.
clients actually know their numbers.
Isn't that weird?
Understand P&L numbers, understand their balance sheet, and even fewer know what we call them benchmarks or key performance indicators, what they are for the industry. Because that's the first thing that I do, right? I look for their key indicators, and I see how close or far away they are from their industry average.
And you have
based
shorts.
on their sizes.
Yeah, you have shorts on all this stuff that explain the importance of this and where to find it and how to do it.
That's correct, I do.
So I should just stop. How many shorts you got? 400, 500 pairs of shorts?
Massive.
Massive. 520?
Massive.
Is that what you said?
Sexiest YouTube channel on the planet. And I'm not talking about me being sexy. I mean the YouTube channel is sexy.
I'm just going to run it on replay. If I run it on replay while I'm sleeping, I'll undoubtedly
Can
wake
we
up.
get back
Yes.
to your Google
Okay,
information?
Cloud computing. I probably have, again, 600, 650, 700 endpoints that I take care of. We're down to less than 10 servers. Servers used to be a big deal as a capital expense. Nowadays, a new server is a $15,000, $20,000 expense for even a medium-sized business. But you move it up to the cloud, you avoid the capital expense, and you work out of the cloud. Every cloud solution, unless you've got something really weird going on, there's going to be a cloud solution out there for you, and it's going to be less expensive on the front end. It'll take years to become more expensive. It just makes a lot of sense. And the mobility.
So I hear cloud. So much it makes me sick. Give me a downside. Is there a downside to me being on the cloud? What's the downside?
Are you worried about the security of your data? Are you so worried that you want it in-house where you can see it and lay hands on it, unplug it during a storm?
Well, what do you mean by unplug it during a storm?
I mean, physically, it used to be we'd shut the servers off during storms.
Oh,
if we knew it was we knew the hurricane's coming through, we might shut a server down to avoid whatever.
Right.
But that is the one big
but
remaining.
But doesn't the cloud save it anyways?
Yeah, it's in like 3 or 4 different places on Earth. I mean, on Earth, around the Earth.
Right.
Just in case. It makes all the sense in the world. But not being able to lay hands on data is the biggest remaining.
In that second, you're saying there may be an hour downtime or something like that. You're saying
people just like to know where their personal data is. If it's theirs, it's their. But even their
because if it's at Microsoft, I got no idea where it is at Microsoft. If it's with Google, I got no idea where it is.
In reality, Google and Microsoft have a whole lot more to lose than you have to lose, and so they are very, very protective of their. Of their data and your data because you're their customer. They don't need that.
All right, what else you got?
Well, of course, I didn't want to overlook the importance of cybersecurity. It's disruptive. It continues to get worse.
You are my go-to cybersecurity dude, right? You know that, don't you? Right.
Thank you so much. So you got AI is now building. The bad guys are using artificial intelligence to build better traps for us.
That scared me because they're already pretty good at it.
I know. Yep. Pardon me. I know.
That's very scary.
The need for skilled workers. Because we need people that know how to use this technology. It is not a matter of you just wait for somebody to walk in off the street and you like the way that they talk about stuff and hire them. Instead, we got to stop and.
I mean, to be honest with you, as we're learning all this automation and new CRM and that sort of stuff, Julie said you better start getting in on these meetings because you're not going to know what's going on. And I said I'm gonna wait till it's done and we're finished with all these changes, and then you can teach me, right? So there is a level of education that is going to have to happen.
Yes, we recently over about a 2-month period, we switched up 2 or 3 major systems to improve solutions. And during that time, I watched 4 of the 5 of us adapt and overcome. And the one who did not is not with us anymore.
Yeah.
Didn't do what he needed to do. Didn't stay up to where he needed to be.
As much as I hate change, you got to change.
That's it.
You just got to.
Yeah, so another disruptor, the pace of change.
Okay. You want to take us to break? You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. I'm here with James Sanders, founder of Charlotte's most reliable IT service, Shared Resources. If it's Monday afternoon, quick.
Your business matters.
Woo,
More Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone. Coming up on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
No, you can't leave yet.
Hey everybody, it's Kathy, the GM at Stretch Zone. Are you looking to hit a golf ball farther, increase mobility on the pickleball or tennis court, or just sit more comfortably in a chair? The Stretch Zone method retrains muscles to move more freely with greater range of motion.
Are you kidding me,
This
Joe?
promotes
You didn't tell me I was
increased
gonna-
flexibility, heightened physical and athletic skills, and
I've
increased
never done
quality of
paperwork for the
life.
FCC,
As your
but I'm
body
not
ages,
interested in
it takes
either.
more of an
Okay, well,
effort to
I'm
maintain
gonna
your
give
level of
you
fitness
a
and
joke
mobility. If
every
you
day
have lost the
moving
ability
forward.
to
I'm gonna
perform
ask
the
the
activities
question
that
of
you
the
love the
co-host.
most, our
See if they
programs
got an
can
answer
help
for
you
it. 'Cause
regain
Wilton
the
liked that.
lifestyle
It
you
made
once
Wilton
enjoyed.
smile.
Invest
So
in
that's why
yourself
I'm
by
doing it.
scheduling an appointment with Stretch Zone today. Our practitioners do all the
We're
work
gonna add that
and you
to the-
receive
Well, I got a
all
lot
of
of
the
questions for
benefit.
Reid
And your
about
first visit
dumpsters.
is free. Visit Stretch
I look
Zone
forward to
at
it.
20545
Julie
Torrance
just got
Chapel
on the
Road in
book.
Cornelius and 591 River Highway
She
in
knew
Mooresville.
you were
will
over
thank
in the
yourself.
half-hour break,
Stretch
so
Zone
she
Cornelius
decided to jump
and
on
Mooresville.
after you got on.
And now a look
You know,
at
I
your
caught,
weather
uh,
updates
she don't want it to
from the
listen to you all the time.
I
WSIC
got
Weather
some sort
Center.
of marketing material
It's a
from you. I thought it was
beautiful
kind of funny.
Monday out
It's you
there.
talking to
Hopefully
her.
everybody had a wonderful
Say
weekend.
what?
It's
As you head
you
through your
talking
Monday,
to
though,
her. It's
sunny
like the
skies
image
and
on
a
your
high
marketing. I was
temperature
like,
this
oh, that's
afternoon,
great.
Getting to 79
Anyone who
degrees.
doesn't know her wouldn't
Through
know.
the
Like, oh,
evening
he's
and
helping
into the
some
overnight hours, we're looking at mostly
some
clear skies with the
entrepreneur
overnight
work
low
through some sort of
around
issue
54
here.
degrees.
In fact,
This is
it's
your weather
her
report
straightening
from the
you out in that
WSIC
picture.
Weather Center.
That may very well would be what it is.
Here's Daily Hope.
Okay, Reid, are you ready,
Pastor
buddy?
Rick Warren.
The Bible says it is not
Can't be
good for
changing
man to
your
be
mind
alone.
now.
and
You're
God
in it.
meant for us
Once you're
to be-
introduced,
You
you
can
don't
blame-
want to go
community with
silent.
each other.
You can
Whether
blame
ever
Julie
get
for
married
this.
or not doesn't
Coming
matter.
up with
Really,
your
what
name.
matters is, do you have a spiritual family, a group of 3 or 4 or 5 people that you can walk through life with?
She's
so
like,
you're not on
he
your
he
own.
ignored the first request.
Hear
He's thinking
more
like
from
maybe
Rick
she'll just
Warren
forget
at
about me and go on.
PastorRick.com.
All right, how do you say your last? I've known the guy for 16 years. How do you say your last
Here's
name?
Daily Hope with Pastor Rick Warren.
Some.
You can have trust, and you can have empathy, and you can accommodate each other's
Lloyd.
needs and differences. But what makes a team is mission. To have
Well,
a team,
now I want to
you
know how
have
it's
to have a
spelled.
cause. You have to have a purpose.
Okay.
You have to have a mission.
Easy.
Teams do not just exist for themselves. They
Easy
have a
peasy, lemon
reason.
squeezy.
They are doing something together.
You got this, Joe.
Hear more from Rick Warren at
you got this, right,
PastorRick.com.
Joe?
For 41 years, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is Johnson's Parts and Supply, located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Closed on Sunday.
Wilton,
Johnson's
we
Parts, your
got
Auto
the
Plus Auto
answer
Parts
on the
store.
book to the glue
Prioritizing
question.
your
To the
health
glue.
is one of the best ways to take care of yourself.
She says
From
it
routine
needs
visits
air
to the
in
joys of
order
pregnancy
to
to
set.
the illnesses that stop you in your tracks.
I
Iredell
just want
Health
you to know
System
that.
will be by your side. Learn more at
Christina
IredellHealth.org.
Number one, she's smarter than James. That's
Live
for darn
music,
sure.
vendor booths, and community yard selling. Fun for the whole family returns to Statesville for the WSIC Community Yard Sale, October 20th.
She had the one
That
up.
is my beautiful fiance.
Spots start at just $25.
She had the one. Oh, look what you got forward to look for the rest of your life.
WSICnews.com/yard
I didn't know how lost I was until she showed up.
Community Yard
Directs
Sale,
me everywhere to
October
go.
28th, 6 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Oh, I like that.
It's Local Biz Now with
Fiancé
Joe
is one up to
Vagnone
you.
on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Yeah. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Monday afternoon, your business matters. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you because that's what we do at News Talk WSIC. I am here with my co-host James Sanders, founder of Charlotte's most reliable IT services, Shared Resources, and we have a guest that I am happy to say, whether he will admit it or not, he is my mentee. I have been advising this young man. Now, he's been smart enough not to listen to everything that I have said for well over 15, 16 years. His name is Reid Somloi. Loy.
We just covered that.
Somloi. You think after 16 years I'd say it? I'd never use your last name. I say Reid, right? Reid has started a couple of small businesses over the years. He currently owns Willow Dumpsters. Reid, my friend, thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So let me tell people how we met years ago, right? So that you'll see why I have this great affection for Reid, right? Years ago, we were at the Lake Norman Chamber Expo. and this young man walking around, introducing himself, handing out cards, saying he'd be more than happy to cut your grass for you, right? And, you know, that like warms my heart, right? You know that, don't you?
Oh, I
James,
do.
right?
I do.
And so I told the young man, I said, come on by the house, you know, I'll find something for you to do. And that was back when you were in high school. And then you and I just started talking, and your business started to grow. And he grew a exceptional business and ran it all the way through college as well. Then he came a knocking, asked me to help him. He wanted to buy another business and helped him with that as well. And then we end up selling one of his businesses also. And now you have started Willow Dumpsters from scratch, which is really what I wanted to talk to you about. But did I get our relationship right? Did I miss anything?
Nope, just 10 years, not 15. I
10.
was too young then.
Excuse me. 10 years.
I looked at him, I thought, 15, good gracious.
Well, he's about 25. You about 25?
Yep.
Yeah. And you know me. I just like young people that are aggressive and energetic, you know, and ambitious. And my son is 22, and I love telling this story. It's so funny. Reid was working in the yard one day, and my son was up with me. Right, you know, we were just sitting, relaxing, and Reid pulled up to start cutting the grass, and I looked at my son. His name is CJ, and I said, "Look, CJ, that's the son I always wanted." Talking about Reid, of course.
Yeah, look, that kid's doing something.
That's exactly right.
Anything.
So to this day, Reid is a sore spot for me and my boy. Although he has a lot of respect for you also. He asks about you often. How's Reid doing, Dad? What's he doing, Dad? You know, that sort of stuff. So anyway, Reid, thank you for being here. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
Let's kind of talk about, I want to go back. What made you want to print cards and walk into a business expo and ask if people want to get their grass cut? What was that motivated you to do that back then? Because I don't know if you know this, but that may be something James and I's generation would do, but it's not the generation that you grew up in. So it's unique, right? Talk about that a little bit.
I would say in the start, it's definitely instead of having the money to market, you have the time. So I was like, well, I can use my time well. It was, I don't know, summer, I was out of school. I can use my time well to go network with people. Maybe it turns into business. Maybe it turns into good contact that I use 10 years down the road.
Right, that's right.
But then I, just over time going to different events and spending that time that I did have at the time instead of using money to market, it ended up working out well because it made connections, gained customers, and it sort of allowed dominoes to fall in place from there.
I mean, there's no question that one of my favorite things that Lake Norman Chamber does is put on the Business Expo, which, by the way, it's coming up soon as well. Bill Russell's going to be mad at me. I don't know the actual date. But it is the best place to meet and also to be seen.
I agree.
In the Lake Norman area, and I really like that. Did you get other business besides me that year? Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Because it was such a successful move for you to make.
Look, for him to do that,
yeah.
I even want to go back a year or two. Have you always had the entrepreneurial spirit? Did that hit in high school sometime?
Yeah, before I started with the lawn care end of things, I was making the paracord bracelets and approached, you guys would know the range at Lake Norman.
Yes.
And I was selling a few paracord bracelets there. So that was like the very first entrepreneurial activity, I guess you would say.
Right. And what inspired that?
I don't know. I think I just started it, maybe.
Not the bracelets, but just wanting to do something, to be your own, to chart your own destiny.
In the beginning, it definitely wasn't intentional. Even with the lawn care, it wasn't intentional. It was just, oh, I want to gain more customers. Oh, I want to grow the business. And then as things would grow and fall into place, and
yeah, but what we're trying to ask is, my son went to Prosciutto's and said, "Can I wash dishes?" You decided to print up some cards and go meet somebody like Joe. Like, what made you go in that direction instead of knocking on the door to do something, work for somebody else?
Was there an adult influence in your life that you like, I want to be like that guy, or did you read a book?
No, none of that. It just sort of.
It was just
He's just a natural.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, he
has the
reminds me
force.
of me. So that's why we have this connection. I get it. I understand. There was no other thought, right? That's what I was going to do. I get it. I absolutely get it.
Yeah, it's not this grand answer that there's a backstory.
No, that's
It
right.
just fell into
Natural
place.
born businessman.
So Bill Russell just put on Facebook. It is Tuesday, October the 10th is the Small Business Expo for Lake Norman Chamber. It is a phenomenal event, and Reid is a great example because that's where we met.
Success.
People meeting people. It's just a great opportunity. So after you started your landscaping business, you started buying trucks. You started doing leaf removal from homes. I mean, you literally started treating this lawn care business like a true business. When did that happen? Because I want to say you were still in high school when that was happening.
Yeah, definitely. When I got my driver's license is when I started to really take it seriously. I think that probably stemmed from, I want a car. And then that gave like a very short-term vision and goal. And then after you get a car, it's, I have a car. And then after that, it was just, I want to grow this. And then towards the end of high school, I realized, if I want to go to college, then I need to bring in other people to help manage this. So brought in someone to help manage the business while I was in school, and then just continue to grow it and build off of that.
And then on your last years of college is when you wanted to buy the whole, I call it hardscape business, patios and fireplaces and decks and that sort of stuff. And so that's when you wanted to try and expand it in a completely different area. So you continue to move the business forward with these different, let's call them offerings or services.
Yeah, correct. And it definitely stemmed from sort of an enjoyment aspect that lawn care was very, cut and dry. You get a property looking nice. Maybe after a couple months you can get into good shape. The project was more fulfilling, just starting with something, a plan, a design, and turning it into oasis for someone.
Right.
And then sort of how the dumpster business played in with that is I dealt with a few dumpster companies. Hey, we need a dumpster out on this job site. I would order it, and they would end up taking a few days to get it delivered, whatever. We would stack up the trash, but it would be annoying to the client just having a pile of trash sitting in their yard, not organized, sort of dangerous if they had kids running around. And then the final kicker was, hey, we need to pick up at that dumpster. The project's done. And we'll be out there in a couple days, maybe a week. And I said, we can't get paid. We're not going to be fully off the job site until this dumpster's removed.
I got to get this junk out of here.
That's the final step here. Get the dumpster out, clean everything off, and final check. And just by the dumpster service being slow and me as the contractor at the time really just created like a huge pain point.
And I know you. Well, forget it then. I'll just get me a dumpster and and then you're like, I got to have a truck to move the dumpster, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
And you were saying that you're up to 52 dumpsters now.
At this point, correct.
And you have 5 currently available that are not on job sites.
Correct.
And what do you do with all those when they're not on job sites?
We have a yard, and then sort of logistically, we have one yard in one area of the city, another yard in the other area, and then like our main yard where, at night things
3 locations.
Yeah.
3 locations to store those dumpsters when they're not in use. That's pretty sweet.
This is a young man up and coming.
Yes.
And it happens to be in trash. This
Well,
just shows you there's money all over the place.
What he identified was if you want to be better organized with your trash, if you want to keep it in a safe place, and if you want expedient service, those are 3 things he's delivering. He didn't like what he was getting from the current guys.
That's
and
correct.
What he's doing.
And so when we get back, we're going to talk about that, the different services, the different sizes, and that sort of stuff, and how you chose. One of the things I just adore about him is, most of the dumpsters you see are all rusted and messed up. Oh, not Reid. Sexy, pretty blue looking, nice. Matter of fact, all the other dumpster companies, they make fun of him, for spending the money, make sure the dumpsters are actually clean.
Hey, did you, you know what they call a miniature dumpster?
No.
Well, I can't tell you. It's a little trashy.
Oh, I'm the one that says the jokes.
Sorry. Go.
Go ahead, do it. You got 5 seconds.
Business matters.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
Local Biz Now
Wilton,
with Joe
I cannot
Vagnone
believe it's
will
now
return
been
after
3
this
weeks.
short break
You
on the
know
new
that I'm supposed to have the
105.9,
bumper music, but don't have the
100.7
songs on there, so I can
WSIC.
get all up in
Here's
it.
your WSIC
I'm Chappin
community
Wilson,
calendar.
and he takes it like a
Stuart
man,
Owen
and you need to be
Dance,
quiet
the
while I'm
resident
Chappin
dance
Wilson.
company of
And
Asheville's
you and
Rhythm
Justin
Center
have
for
not
Performing
completed
Arts
this
is performing
properly.
at Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius
Now I'm done, Chappin.
this Saturday. Want to learn more about Stuart Owen
don't
Dance before
interrupt
the
me
event?
when I'm
Listen
trying to
to
beat up
Justin
on
Dion,
Wilton.
The cigar
Executive
music, I miss that.
Director.
The
It's the
cigar
only
movie.
pleasure of the day
During
is
his
that I
show,
get to
Know
beat
the
up
Scene
on Wilton.
on
Cigar movie,
Tuesday
was there a
or on
copyright
demand
infringement with the cigar
anytime.
movie? Is that what it
Just
was?
visit WSICnews.com and click on radio shows to find Know the Scene. Stuart Owen Dance this Saturday, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The sesquicentennial celebration
Is it
for
'cause
the
he's-
town of
he's a
Huntersville
nervous
is
wreck,
here.
you understand?
This
I'm
Saturday
absolutely.
from 2 until 8
Yeah.
It happened that
at
fast.
And then I stumble with
Come
one thing,
celebrate
and then it gets you out of your
Huntersville's
groove. And you're like,
150th birthday.
You did great.
Saturday, September 23rd.
Oh, Bill
For
Russell
more
just
info,
said on.
visit
You know, sometimes I hate Bill
huntersville.org.
Russell. You know what I'm saying? Bill Russell just
The
said that your
All-American
dumpsters
Dog
are
Show
sexier
is
than my
back
YouTube
in
channel.
Cornelius, Sunday, October 1st,
That's
2
a
until
trashy joke.
5 p.m. Your furry friends are also welcome to attend. You can even enter them into the contest.
What about you
Be
said
sure
you
to
don't,
come
you
by
don't
the
have fire safety
WSIC
training.
tent at the
What
All-American
about,
Dog Show
Will you get off
happening
the fire
at Robbins
safety?
Park in
You know, when I
Cornelius.
think of dumpsters, I
Sunday,
think of a dumpster
October
fire.
1st.
Okay.
For more
And
info,
then I think about
visit
mud.
Cornelius.
When
I think about
you do it,
muggers.
think
If I'm-
about-
Do you ever go pick them up at night?
Have
'Cause
an
that'd be
event
scary.
you'd like to tell people
Muggers
about?
hide behind
Yard
dumpsters all day
sales,
long. If
estate
there's one
sales,
place
and
muggers
everything
love
in
to
between,
hide,
You know,
it's
visit
behind the dumpster.
WSICnews.com and click on events
You
to
sit
submit
behind
your event
a
today.
desk in a closet your
The
entire
Renaissance
life and hope
Festival
that
is
nobody
back
bothers you.
Saturdays and Sundays, September 30th
And
through
Reid is
November
out there
19th. A non-stop outdoor
beating the
family
bushes.
adventure.
My email goes
Tickets
ping and I'm like,
available
oh, no.
online
No,
only
no.
at
Oh, it's
renfestinfo.com.
confrontational.
While supplies
Completely different
last.
people.
Interaction with clients.
And now look at your weather update from the
hobos.
WSIC Weather Center.
Julie,
Well,
want you to know you're doing
Monday
great.
out
Reid.
there. Hopefully
you, Julie.
everybody
Right.
had a wonderful weekend.
can't hear me
As you
right
head
now.
Have you
through
had
your
problems
Monday,
with
though,
hobos?
Sunny
No.
skies
Don't they
and
hang
a
out?
high
Hobos
temperature
and
this
fires?
afternoon,
They
getting
hang
to
out in
79
dumpsters.
degrees.
That guy's got a
Through the
dangerous
evening and
job.
into
He's
the
in a
overnight
tough
hours,
industry.
we'll
Are you
mostly
packing?
Clear skies.
You got
with
concealed
low
carry?
Driveway of
around
somebody's
54
house until
degrees.
they're done with
This
the
is
trash.
your weather
I picked
report
up one on the
from
driveway before
WSIC
and
Weather Center.
checked the door, but I didn't check inside.
Revitalize
I
your
started looking
landscape
up,
with
someone
ease.
jumped out.
Experience
Like
hassle-free
picking through it.
transportation with Drum Landscape Supply's swift and reliable
Yeah,
delivery
yeah,
service.
that's good too.
That's a real
Visit drumlandscapesupply.com
The worst thing that happened to
today.
him is he
Drum
might run
Landscape
over a little
Supply,
puppy or
your
something.
local one-stop landscape shop.
A whole litter.
Local Biz
Not one
Now
puppy.
continues with local entrepreneur Joe Vagnone on
A whole
WSIC.
litter of puppies.
Woo! This is Local Biz Now. News Talk WSIC. 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. We are live on the book, live on the tube, and live on your radio. We thank you for listening where Monday afternoon your business matters. We are talking with my friend of over 10 years. He corrected me. He won't let me say 15 years. 10 years, Reid Somloi. Did I
got
get that
it.
right?
Yep.
Somloi. He had me spell it properly and all. Reid, thank you, my friend, for being here. I appreciate it. So we were talking about you starting the dumpster business. So it just like all of your business, it was like this out of necessity to provide the service that you wanted to provide a client. It just seemed to move in that direction. Is that a fair way to say how it got started?
Yeah, very.
So when I look at your website, which by the way, it is a great website. You did a really nice job with that website. So when I go there, to me, I'm asking the question, who is your main profile buyer? Who's your client, right, that would call you and ask you for a dumpster?
We have a variety of clients, pretty diverse in that aspect, from the homeowner who might clean up their house when they're moving or have too much junk or doing a DIY project to a school that's being built that needs multiple dumpsters each week for the duration of the school build. We have dumpsters out on civil projects for highways and bridges, dumpsters that are taken over to Walmart's, Targets during emergencies, Sam's Club, industrial, of course, builders, contractors are a good majority. So pretty much can range, and anyone's creating waste.
When you told me you wanted to start this business, I was scared to death because I'm like, Reid, do you realize some of the largest corporations in the world deal in trash? I mean, this is not a small business, right? This is big business. But you felt this niche, right? Talk about this niche where you seem to fit really well.
The niche is really service oriented and having a relationship. Those two things are important. Service is, of course, most important because if you have any type of job going and your dumpster's overflowing, we've had pile of trash next to it, rebar sticking out. It's not safe. And at the end of the day, that waste needs to go somewhere. And then, sometimes it's taken to landfill, sometimes it's taken to disposal sites that are, they sort through it and sort through materials that they can reuse in different capacities. For example, maybe the wood would be shredded and used for fuel to, heat different aspects, or the metal will be taken out and recycled, the plastic be taken out, melted, and reused. So there's different avenues for the waste to go, even once it's disposed of in the dumpster.
So one of the things that I really like when I talk to you about your business that as a small business guy, right, I kind of see where you're headed with this. When you say service, what you mean is when I'm ready for the dumpster, it's there, and when I'm ready for you to pick it up, it's gone. And you would think that'd be no big deal, but most dumpster companies don't work that way. They'd say, "I'll get there. I'll put you on the schedule," kind of like wait in line at a restaurant. We'll get to you, but we just don't know where it is. Where you really take pride in absolutely trying to provide this start-stop that works for them.
Yeah, as much as we can. Of course, there's things out of their control, traffic, flats, breakdowns, but as much as we can control, we're really timely, and that's really important.
I guess the difference is you've got the big dumpster companies. They've got thousands of dumpsters. He's got 52. He's going to really pay attention to those 52. He has the bandwidth to pay attention to the 52 and provide the service that they want.
That's a great point, James. Because Reid, talk about that, because you choose the kind of clients you want and when you're willing to drop them a dumpster, because you want to make sure you can deliver when they call and say, pick it up, right? So that's important to you. Talk a little bit about how you choose the clients that you accept.
Right now, just based off of the amount of dumpsters we have, for example, I've turned down work that they may require on that particular project or job site or clean out, demolition, who knows, that they might need 20 dumpsters. At this point, I could service that, but then I'm letting down all of our other customers that use us long term. So I can't sacrifice short term, just gaining that one big customer at that moment to sacrifice all the other clients who, bread and butter that have stuck with us.
Right. And that's a lot of small, I don't think you know this, a lot of small business people don't do that, right? They take everything they can, right? And they miss the big picture. Of course, I know that about you. You even back when you were cutting grass, there were certain people you'd say no to when, in fact, it was out of your cutting area. And so I know that about you. You've always been pretty strategic. And that's because your dad is an engineer, correct? I thought your dad was an engineer.
In the finance credit card realm.
Okay. But my point is he's very detailed, so I think you would have conversations with him and he would help you make sure that you stayed focused.
Yeah, that definitely probably had an influence.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to go to your website, how could they do it, buddy?
willowdumpsters.com, and they can go on there, call the number, text the number, or simply book a dumpster online. Sometimes we'll wake up in the morning and have orders for that day, and we take care of that customer.
Awesome.
So see, James, he got the whole IT thing going, man.
That's great.
Order online.
Nice.
You never have to talk to a person. Why are you looking at me? Except that there's a person hiding in the dumpster. Then you might have to. That was off the air joke that I make to anybody listening.
You talked about somebody jumping out of a dumpster when you're about to haul it away, but I used to love dumpster diving. What's the best thing you've ever gotten out of a dumpster?
He doesn't dig into the dumpster.
Well, he might.
I usually don't, but there was a story. We had a customer. We went in picked up the dumpster. They said, hey, we need one for a cleanup. Okay. We went and picked up the dumpster. It's full of salt lamps, all brand new in their boxes.
There you go.
They had an e-commerce site. I think they might have been moving, and there's something going on. And, contractually, we still call them, hey, do you mind if we donate these, bring them some, or just not bring all these brand new salt lamps to the landfill? Oh, we'd be happy. Thank you. We give you permission.
Yes.
So we went to a local Goodwill, and they took like 5. Okay, that's all. And I was like, well, what are we going to do with the rest of these? Do you not want them? So they sent us down to corporate, and there's like a big headquarters center that we brought the dumpster there, and they unloaded it, and
very good. That's great.
Got to good use.
And kept it out of the landfill.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. Now I don't have to go digging through a landfill for my next salt lamp. That counts.
Okay.
That counts.
So how do you? Because a lot of what you do is construction related, right? Or like stuff from a house. It's metal. It's old washing machines or whatever, right? You're cleaning out my attic. How do you discern what goes where? Walk me through that. Does it all go to the same place?
No. Part of the client's interaction in the beginning is describing what they're going to put in it. So that way, if they may say, oh, I'm putting yard waste in there. In North Carolina, you're not allowed to have leaves, sticks, branches, green waste go into a landfill. It has to go to a facility that's either specialty to that or going to recycle it. So if they say, hey, we're going to put in branches, I have to filter those and call them and mention, hey, if you're going to put in the branches, it has to be a separate dumpster. And just give them a heads up on that as much as we can. So people's description of what they're going to put in is pretty important. And of course, sometimes people slip in things that they're not supposed to. When you get to either the recycling or disposal site and you dump out, they'll catch it and say, hey, you need to haul this away, or hey, here's the additional charge, and they pile it up and take it to the proper site. An example is tires. You can't put a bunch of tires into the landfill. Those need to be taken somewhere else and recycled.
And then how do you handle that with the client?
It depends. It's very situational. Everything there's no one size fit all. So a lot of people think, oh, it's a simple business. You drop up a dumpster here, drop it up. There's a lot of little things that go into it from there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What advice would you give some buddy that's thinking about starting a business right now? What advice would you give them?
When you say something, stick to that word. It's simple, but I feel like it really goes a long way.
It's funny that somebody young like you is saying that, because a lot of times we don't learn that, James, until we get older.
Until we screw up a few times.
That's right.
And lose a few great deals. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So I joke and call you my mentee, right? Talk about some people that have helped you over the years and have talked with you and that sort of stuff. Because you do that. I mean, you go reach out and ask people for their advice. That's important to you. To kind of talk about that.
I would view it, there's people that have been through, no matter their age, anything, they've just been through different experiences. And I feel like they can give a different perspective. And, if you get 10 people's perspectives, there may be a few things and you have to take them with a grain of salt. But if you take them all into consideration, really sit down and think through it, I feel like it averages out and gives you a good, thought process using the averages.
You're saying you have to dig a lot of trash before you find some treasure?
Yeah.
There you go.
Great.
So stop with the digging in the trash.
Well, I'm just saying. He he listens to 2 hours of conversation with you. And he says, you know what? There's about a minute and a half in there that's actually useful.
There's about 2 minutes. That's exactly right. That's a good point. And the truth is, Reid, it wasn't me wanting to give you advice. It was you asking, right? I mean, so that's why we joke when I call him my mentee, right? Because it really was him that absolutely aggressively would come and ask me questions. And that's a rare treat that happens.
That someone would ask you for advice?
That's true. That's a true statement.
It is excellent relationship
it shows a lot
between the two of you.
Yeah, yes. It really does. Yes. Hey, buddy, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and if it's Monday afternoon, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.